What's real? So y'all already know. It's your favorite bean-eating mofo, fresh off the banana boat, right? The one and only Big Lou, tapping on in with what it do with Big Lou, NFZR2. And gonna hit y'all with the normal spill. First time you're coming to the channel here at What It Do with Big Lou, would be highly appreciated if you sub, like, and share the channel with your family, friends, folks, peoples, gente, buddies, pals, associates, amigos, panas, manos, hermanos, carnales, comrades. I already said comrades. Anybody that you are close to and feel they would dig some of the content here at this channel. I am currently working on dressing the channel up. I'm going to be doing some better things with the thumbnails on the. I'm going to do more recorded videos. Also, feel free to comment, and I respond back to all comments. But I'm gonna do better with the thumbnails on recorded videos. I'm gonna try to stick to recorded videos and maybe do a live once or twice a week, maybe the beginning of the week and end of the week. Chewy, Cubo. And you know, there it is there. But as you can see from the thumbnail, we finally got a W, and I haven't worn no Raider stuff. Finally, brother, pinche Raiders. Orale. Yeah, so we finally got a dub. You see, I got a Raider hat on, and I got my starter jacket. Oh, it's on this side. I got my starter jacket on. Boom, right? I haven't worn no Raiders. I said I would not wear nothing until we won again, and we finally won. I'm not gonna lie though, the way the game was going at first, I was under the impression the game started at 125 today, and it was already on, or I might have mistracked the time. I don't know, but when I found it, it was the Raiders' ball. They had 7 plays. They had ran 3 rush plays and 4 pass plays for 42 yards. Then when I went back later and watched, 41 of the yards was by Devontae Adams on 3 catches. So the rush was like 4 carries for 1 yard, something like that. And they didn't look like they were gonna. It looked like the same old bullshit, right? I'm not even gonna lie. You know, the Texans got their quarterback, the youngster back there. He's playing very conservative, right? He's not taking a lot of chances. You know, he's got just about as many interceptions as he did touchdowns, and all of a sudden, he's just, you know, marching down the field on us. I was pissed. I ain't gonna lie. Wesley Mitchell, born a Raider, homie. They get me pissed too. Yeah, I'm born. Yeah, my people's. We from Oakland originally, so I was born into this. That's why I tell people I'm not a fan. I'm actually a Raider. And you know, it sounds funny, but if you know me and know my family, then you know exactly what I'm talking about. You know, that's all I know. Okay, yes, you said the game started at 105. See, I was under impression. I thought it started at 125. Made a mistake. So, anyways, I catch on. The Raiders kick a field goal. Carlson hits that 50-yard field goal, right? And then the Texans come back to kick the field goal. I believe they missed it, if I remember correctly. And then they scored a touchdown. Like always, you know, a lot of times, man, Davis Mills, yeah. So he was 28 for 41 for 302 yards with 2 TDs and an interception. He was sacked once for a loss of 6 yards, right? Houston rushing, Pierce, he had 20 carries for 92 yards. 4.6 yards a carry. His longest carry was 22 yards, right? And then this is what gets me, man, the secondary, man. So you had Jay Atkins, 3 catches for 68 yards. Longest was 39 yards. You had Ogun Bole, 5 catches for 54 yards. His longest was 23. B Cooks, 4 catches for 46 yards. His longest was 24 yards. Dorsett, 2 catches for 45 yards. His longest was 25. Collins, 3 catches for 33 yards. Pierce, 4 catches for 25 yards. Seymour, 2 catches for 20 yards. Burkhead, 5 catches for 11 yards. So that was a total of 302 yards right there. So I don't know about you guys. And just another thing. it was big hype at the beginning of the season. The Raiders hired Josh McDaniels. He's been part of a winning system in New England with Belichick. He knows how to win. He's going to come over here and turn this thing around. Even though we had a winning season last year, 10-7, right? Then he starts picking his coaching staff, and they pick up Devontae Adams, they pick up Chandler Jones, right? Chandler Jones really all season hasn't done anything. He got a half a sack today, right? He's been getting some tackles, but as far as putting pressure on the quarterback, he's really not there, right? It's Crosby's a beast, man. He's like the Energizer Bunny that has a fully charged battery at all times. You see him. I don't know if you guys pay attention to him, but he hustles every freaking play. I mean, he'll chase down if it's a run play, or a short screen or a short pass. He comes up from behind and tackles the guy, or he tries his hardest to, right? He's flying all over the place. So we needed Chandler Jones to really step up and give Crosby a hand on that side. Like in Ngagwe, however you pronounce his name, last year he played well, but in the offseason he wanted big money, you know what I'm saying? And I don't know if he was quite worth it yet, but he was a good player too. But Crosby definitely is a beast, right? We need Chandler Jones to return back to that player that he once was, that dominant force at the pass rush. You know what I mean? But what pisses me off a lot about these Raider games, man, is they're up a lot of games, and then we end up losing by 1, 2, 3, a single possession. And then like the defense will do the defense, especially the line, when the linebackers, they'll do their job to bring up a third down. And then the secondary gives up some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? The corners and the safeties, man, it's ridiculous. They get burnt so much. It's crazy. And it's been like that for so long, man. It's like people don't understand me when I'm like fed up, when I'm like almost ready. I was almost ready to just say, fuck these dudes, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm sick of the embarrassment season after season. And if you ain't really with it, then you don't get it. You know what I'm saying? You don't understand where I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? It seems it doesn't matter who's the general manager, who's in the front office, who's the coaching staff is, who's the offensive line. It's the same dumb mistakes every year, off holding and false starts. And then people want to bash Carr. How can you bash Carr when he hasn't even had a solid – I'm pretty solid on this that Carr hasn't even had a steady Carr hasn't had a steady offensive coordinator for like more than 2 years in a row. I mean, I think the dude's had like 8 or 9 offensive coordinators since he's been a Raider, and they come in with different systems, and he has to learn that system. So how can you know what I'm saying? It's hard to year after year you're learning a new system, or every year and a half, or whatever it breaks down to. It's it's not that easy. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? So, he needs people are sometimes harsh on him about that. But second half, Raiders came out, man. They look pretty damn good. They got the ball moving. Fuck with the Jacobs was pushing, man. Jacobs looks back. Now he's looking like that back, that back that originally how he got them 2,000-yard seasons. He's, moving the ball. His feet work is phenomenal. His spin, his what do you call that? What's that when they push the, man, I can't remember what it's called, but he looks dynamite with that, right? He finished the last 3 games. They're talking about he's like the best running back in football right now in the last 3 games, right? Let's see if I can find that. So Carr was 21 of 27 for 241 yards, 1 TD. He got sacked once for 5 yards. I remember seeing that. So Jacobs had 20 carries for 143 yards for 7.2 a carry. Excuse me, with 3 TDs, right? That's awesome. Turner had 3 carries for 20 yards for almost 7 yards a carry. That's awesome too. Okay, Devontae Adams, 8 catches for 95 yards. Renthro, 3 catches for 55 yards. Hollins, 2 catches for 44 yards. Moreau, 3 catches for 28 yards. Jacobs, 3 catches for 12 yards. We're missing Darren Waller again today. That kind of sucks, though. He signs his big contract, and then he gets, he's not playing well, right? Diablo had 11. He was in on 11 tackles, 6 of them solo. Let's see where Jones is at. Chandler Jones had 2 tackles, 1 solo, and then he had a half a sack. And Farrell had the other half. So we got 1 sack today, and then we got a pick today too, right? Pick 6. That was decent by Harmon. He ran it back for 73 yards on that pick 6, right? We need to, the Raiders' numbers as far as sacks every year are down, and the interceptions. We need to pick that. We need to get more on it with that. When it comes to that, I don't know what they can do to fix that, but I'll keep it real with everybody. The first game of the season against the Chargers, that was during the time I was sick for those couple of weeks where I was in bed. I wasn't feeling good at all. And I got up to watch the game because I was in the bed in the room literally for 2 weeks. I got up to go watch the game, and immediately I started seeing what's going on. I immediately got disappointed. I got upset after a couple of plays against the Chargers, and I think it was maybe halfway through the third quarter, I got up and said, fuck this. I wasn't feeling good, and then I was getting upset. So I said, at that time, the only thing that was making me feel better was to actually lay it down. So that's what I did. The next game, let me see, the Chiefs game, I didn't watch. I didn't watch the was it Falcons, or who was that? Well, the next few games I didn't watch either. I was so out of it from what I was seeing that first game, and some of the nonchalant answers that McDaniels was giving. I was just like, hell no, man, this is bullshit, right? And Jacobs has turned things around. What's the name came out right immediately. Adams, he was last year considered the best wide receiver in football, right? And he's still up there. It's just his numbers ain't all like some of these other guys because, today, hopefully with today, even though the Houston Texans aren't a top team, hopefully this bust out offensive game we had today, will turn things around. Because even if you look at the other games we lost, we were right in the thing. We lost by 1 to KC. All the games were close. I mean, all by a touchdown or less, 1 possession, right? And we were up 17-0 on one game, and then it was against Arizona. Not I don't know why I said Falcons. I meant Arizona. And we just things need to get turned around, man. We got a good kicker, we got a good punter. Derek Carr, I'm not going to say he's a great quarterback, but he's not just a good quarterback. He's better than that. Derek Carr can start the game off at the 1-yard line, and he can take us all the way down the field and get us a 6, a TD. He's proved that. Look how many games he's came back for us and won. It's just he just needs to stay in a system that's going to be, he's going to stay in a system with some consistency. Not, he came out in what? I think he came out in 2014. Come out in 2014. Play that season. 2015, he has another offensive coordinator. 2017, he has another one. You know what I mean? 2019, another one. 2022, another offensive coordinator. He stays with this rhythm, right? This system, and can stay with this system 3-4 years from now. It'll bring more out, make him a better player. You know what I'm saying? Because he knows his system inside and out, like the back of his hand, so to speak, right? Yeah, I didn't like that either, Chewy. Hate losing to the Chiefs. Yeah, me too. Anytime we lose to them, anytime the Broncos, the Chiefs, the Chargers, and I still don't like the Seahawks because they used to be in our division. Now they took them out, put them in the whole another conference. They're in the NFC West now with the Niners, with the Cardinals, and who is it? The Niners, Seattle, the Cardinals, and oh man, who's the other one in the West? NFC West. 49ers, the Cardinals, Seattle, and wow, I can't believe my mind went blank. Can anybody help me there? Or I guess I can. The Cardinal, the NFC West is. I'm missing the last team. Niners, Seattle, Arizona, and who? I'll find it right now. The Rams. Oh wow, how can I couldn't remember that? They're in LA. Exactly. It's hard for Carr to get comfortable. Yeah, I mean, come on, it's just got to be like, you know what I mean? Everybody expect, well, first of all, they expect that you're a professional, that you're going to be perfect, right? And that's just out of the question. I don't care what sport it is, you're not going to be perfect because you're a professional player. Now, I mean, look at the batting averages. What's usually the leader of the league? It's usually anywhere from 325 to 340 or so. Every now and then you'll get somebody that'll hit 370, 380, what I mean, 360, 350, but usually it's around 320 to probably 335 or so, right? 336. Yeah, you're right, Chewy. Yes, the Rams. Basketball, the field goal percentage, usually the league leader is anywhere from 55% to 60%. You know what I mean? Free throw line, that's a little different. Now you have a couple guys that will average 90% from the free throw line. They'll hit anywhere from, 8.5 to 9 out of 8.5, 850 to 900 free throws out of every 1,000. You know what I mean? 3-pointers. What's the league leader in 3-pointers? Like 42%, 40%. You know what I mean? Football. The quarterback anywhere from 35 completions out of 35 completions out of 50 passes. So it's there's no such thing as perfection in sports. You're gonna get usually it's like 1/3 of whatever. You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. He got to stay with the same offense, the same system. Same thing with the defense. When you get a defensive coordinator, same thing with that. With the Raiders, that they haven't had even a consistent defensive coordinator as well. Luckily, everybody's young or new that's on the squad or the last couple of years. You know what I'm saying? So, but Crosby's definitely, and then Abrams too. He's a beast too. He just makes a lot of simple mistakes, overshooting things and stuff like that, trying to be perfect. You know what I'm saying? But give me Crosby any day, man, on my defense, on my D line. That dude is a beast. He's Charlie Hustle out there. He's running all over the place trying to make tackles, let alone sacks. You know what I mean? The run game, like I said earlier today, the run game was doing its thing. It handled his business. 3 weeks in a row, he's got 140, 130 yards plus, something like that. Jacobs looking good as long as he can stay healthy. Renfro stays healthy. I think he has some hip problems right now, hip issues. Get Darren Waller back. He has some type of hamstring issue that's been bothering him since preseason. You know what I mean? Adams stays strong and being that number one target as he's been for the past so many seasons in Green Bay and now here. I've been hungry for the Raiders to have a run in the playoffs and make it. Yeah, bro. I know, man. Tell me about it. And then 2016, we go 12-4, and Carr shouldn't even have been playing in that game against Indianapolis. We had a big lead. You know what I mean? He stays in there and gets his fibia broke, and then then that just killed even Khalil Mack said when that happened, it just killed the whole vibe with the team. They weren't even before they were all pumped. Derek Carr's the leader, he's the quarterback, right? But unfortunately, he's for whatever reason, Jack Del Rio kept him in the game. He ends up getting his leg broke. There went our season. We end up getting beat in the first round by the Broncos. I think it was the Broncos, if I remember right. And then 2-3 years after that, losing seasons. Then finally last year we go 10-7, get beat in the playoffs by the Bengals, I think it was. You know what I mean? And then before that, you're talking only 2 winning seasons since we went to the Super Bowl. 12-4 in 2016, and then last year 10-7, right? And then before that, the Super Bowl year against Tampa Bay. You know what I mean? And so it's just, the frustration, and then even before that, and then if you take it before that, we made 3 or 4 years in a row, we won the AFC West division with Gruden, right? When we had Rich Gannon and Tim Brown, Charlie Gardner was there, Tyrone Wheatley, Napoleon Kaufman, Andre Rice and Jerry Rice, all those different guys, Ricky Dudley, they had some other tight ends too. We had some good seasons there. We won the division, went 11-5, 10-6, whatever. But then even those years from we won that Super Bowl against Washington 38-9 in '84. And then I can even remember, like, 89 season, 90 season, 91, a few years we made the playoffs just to get whooped when we go to the, playoff game. That year, 91, we got to the AFC Championship game. That's the year Bo got hurt against Cincinnati, ended his career. I remember I think he had 6 rushes for 77 yards that game. And he had a good run on the Bengals. One of the runs was a good one for, like, I think 70 yards, if I remember correctly. It maybe not 70 yards, but it was a good run. And then he got injured. That's when he got the hip problem. Never was the same baseball player. Never came back to play football. And then that's when we went to the next round, which was the AFC Championship. We played Buffalo, and they just smoked us 55-3. Straight embarrassment, right? We put up no points, and we get blown out. Yeah. And let's not get started when Brady fumbled that ball. Oh yeah, I was thinking about doing a little. I don't know, if it would be a video, how long of a video would be, probably a couple of minutes, or just do a short about it. But he does a little skit with Charles Woodson, because they were college teammates at Michigan, right? And he does a little skit where he holds the ball and he says hit the ball, and then Woodson puts a little pressure on the ball to hit it, and he holds it, and then he goes, and then he changes and he turns to the side with just the one hand, and he goes, okay, hit the ball, and he hits the ball and he drops it. And he goes, see, I wouldn't have been, I forgot exactly what he said the first thing, but then he goes, see, but in this case, fumble. And then Woodson said, you heard that? So he kind of like admitted it, but, Tom Brady is what it is. He's got all these rings. He's got this longevity, still playing at 45. I think he's 45, maybe 44. And, I'm going to keep it real. And, if you don't agree with it, you don't agree with it. They make rule exceptions for this guy. You know what I mean? They've done just like what they do with LeBron James somewhat too. Same thing. They look the other way on things. They throw penalty flags for him. You know what I mean? When he shouldn't get one, they change rules. You got to hit between the shoulders and the waistline. That rule was changed for him. Then you got the tuck rule. And they've been caught up in different scandals. You know what I mean? It is what it is, man. It's not, none of that's going to take away what he's done. As far as his statistics he's put up and the number of Super Bowls and his longevity. But, it is what it is, man. Sometimes you just got to call shit out, right? That game was set up for the Patriots to win at all costs. Yep, that's what I'm saying. Just like that Super Bowl against the Falcons. That was 2016. You know what? I'm not even going to talk about that. I'm going to do another video. I'm going to do a different video on that one. But, yeah, it is what it is, man. They if the Raiders, if that call would have been called correctly, the Raiders most likely would have won that game, and there would have been no Super Bowl season for them that year, right? I mean, it is what it is. But nonetheless, that's the only thing that I don't like about saying stuff like that, is that you can't. It's hard to just make a statement or base your opinion off of one play, you know what I'm saying, or one series, because again, they're professionals, right? Not saying perfect, but you practice every day to play against stuff like what you're facing, and you watch film on this team all week, right? So to say, well, the Raiders, the refs fucked up on that play. Raiders should have won that game. The Raiders should have had, if they called it a fumble like it was, then we would have won. Okay, yeah, I back that too. But thing is, at the end of the day, if you would have been playing your job, doing your job and playing football the way you're supposed to play, then you would have been up a score or two already as it was, or, and you would have put the game in the bag. You know what I'm saying? And then that way nothing could be complained about. But it is what it is, One thing too about football that I don't agree with is that, say the quarterback goes downfield, right? And there's a pass interference call. They get the ball right there, right? Down the field. If it happens close by the goal, by the end zone, then they usually say half the distance, right? If you can't really if you're too close. But here I am, Sam, I'm Terrence Oliver, and I throw the ball down the field 50 yards to Sterling Hansen or something, and he gets they call a pass interference on the defense. We get the ball right there. Now, who's to say he was even going to catch that? So I think it should be just a 15-yard penalty, like an unnecessary roughness call, basically, and just get the first down in the 15 yards. Not getting the ball all the way down there automatically because a penalty. You know what I'm saying? I don't think that should be. Because that right there will can break a game. You know what I mean? Especially down in the crunch and when it's crunch time. You know what I mean? So I'm against that. I'm also against some of this roughing the passer calls that's been happening. It's like, how do you stop yourself if you're like already in mid action, right? How do you I mean, you see guys even trying to do it too, where they don't fall on them. They try not to fall the weight on them, and they still get whistled, still get a flag thrown on them for that. You know what I mean? Not where the penalty took place. Yeah. You know what I mean? I don't think, a lot of times, like you can even, sometimes they'll say, what was the probability of that catch, that pass being caught? Sometimes like 16%, 18%, really very low, and then they get the ball right there. That should be, like I said, it should just be 15 yards. Don't get me wrong. Now, sometimes when it works in our advantage, then, that's something else. But still, no, the grand scheme of things, I think it should be 15-yard penalty. That's it. No more. Get the first down, get the penalty, and that's it. That's what I think. We all know it's gotten a little softer. Yeah, it's got a little softer. Basketball's got softer. You know what I mean? Yeah, just put it that way. It's got softer, man. It's got softer, definitely. Next week, I think we play. Does anybody know who we play next week? Let me see. We rarely see big hits now. Yeah, you don't. Yeah, you hardly see it. Very rarely. See if I can find out who we play next week. See who we play next week. So they got us in third place in the AFC West, 2 wins, 4 losses. We play the Saints. Yeah, I knew that too, and I don't know why I forgot. So we play at New Orleans next week, 10 o'clock in the morning, and then we play at Jacksonville the week after that, and then we play. Wait a minute, is that correct? What's up, Big Weddle Duran? Long time no see, homie. We lost to the Cardinals. We lost to the Titans. So we lost only by 2 to the Titans. We lost by 6 to the Cardinals. We lost by 5 to the Chargers. Broncos we beat by 9. Oh, actually, yeah, 9. And then we lost to the Chiefs by 1. So we lost. Every game we lost was less than a touchdown. So yeah, we play at New Orleans next week. The week after at Jacksonville, and then at home against the Colts. And then at Denver. And then at Seattle. And then at Chargers come to play. So yeah, we got some games we should be able to do something here. You know what I mean? Yeah, all the games are by 1 score. All the games. We rarely see big hit. Raiders can definitely turn it around. Yeah, we could turn it around, but wouldn't it be so much better to start off 3-1 instead of being 2-4? Instead of being 2-4, being 4-2. You know what I'm saying? But then again, maybe not, because these last few years we've been 6-3, 5-2, and then end the season 8-8. 9-7. So maybe, you know what I'm saying? Just chilling. What's happening? It's the Halloween boy. You know what I'm saying? We can win all those. Yeah, I hope we can win them all. You know what I'm saying? It'd be nice, man. Dude, I mean, I remember when we beat the Washington Redskins. I was a little kid though. I was only like 6 years old, 5, 6 years old when it happened. But I remember it. I remember it, and I haven't seen it since then. We made it there once. We got whooped, got our asses whooped. It's fucking sucked too because I was locked up at the time, so I was getting clowned on by all my neighbors. You know, of course, you go into jail and prison, you meet all these cats that, you know, that they're so proud to be from Cali, but then they like teams from bumfuck Egypt and shit, right? Which I always look at it, you know, this is anybody, you know, no disrespect to nobody or what, but the way I look at it, you're supposed to like where the teams from where you're from. You know what I'm saying? So if you're from California, Northern California, Raiders and Niners, you know what I'm saying, Warriors or Kings, you know, but then again, even though we're from Northern Cali, you can still have the LA influence because say somebody your family was from there, or say your grandfather, your father, say your pops is so old, you know, he's old, that age group where, you know, back, you know, the original team back in the day, the original teams from California in football was the Niners and Raiders, but the Niners started before the Raiders in the 40s, and before that the Rams, but the Rams came from Cleveland. You know what I'm saying? So and the Lakers came from Minneapolis, right? The Dodgers came from Brooklyn, the Giants came from New York. You know, all the teams came from the East and came out West. Majority of the teams, the original teams, not the original teams, but the older teams, right? The Warriors came from Philly, the A's came from Philly, then to Kansas City, then to Oakland. The Warriors, like I said, came from Philly. The Kings, I think, were Kansas City Kings first before they came to Sacramento. Chargers were from LA, then went to San Diego, now back to LA. Like I said, the Rams came from Cleveland. You know what I mean? So anybody I'm missing? Sharks started in San Jose. That's where they're made. Yeah, so you know, you know, if you're from down south, you know, you should like, in my opinion, you should like football. You should like the Rams. You know, you got a lot of guys that like the Cowboys, you know, but you should like the Rams or the 49ers, you know what I'm saying, or even the Raiders, because the Raiders did move down there at one point. You know what I'm saying? Basketball, the Lakers, you know, the Clippers, the Lakers, you know, San Diego Clippers. The Clippers were San Diego, and they went to LA. But you know, it's just weird when you hear somebody talking about, oh, Green Bay, and they're from LA or they're from Cali. And then, you know, of course, the Cowboys is real thick over here too, right? But that's a little different because you got a lot of families that migrated from Texas here, or even Louisiana to here. Louisiana didn't have a team. Like, okay, they got New Orleans, the Saints, but I think like Shreveport's not far from Dallas. Excuse me. So you got a lot of people like the Cowboys from different states, like Oklahoma and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So many people like Cowboys and Steelers. Yeah, and then Steelers, a lot of people like the Steelers because back in the day, unlike the Cowboys, people's families were from Texas and they migrated to Cali. Steelers, and you don't hear really too many people, oh, we're from Pittsburgh originally, we moved to Cali. No, you don't hear that. Hardly hear that ever. What it was that the Steelers were kicking ass in the 70s. People started liking them back then because they were a powerhouse team and they jumped the bandwagon. And then some of their kids, you know, continue to like the Steelers because the father passed it on to them. You know, I always say this, and, you know, you don't have to take my word for it, but you can look it up. If there was no Raiders, there wouldn't be no Steelers. The Raiders made the Steelers. If you go back and look at the games, they had got a lot of homie Bear fans. Yeah, see, even that too, Bear fans. Well, depending, there's a lot of, you know, if you're Mexicano, Chicano, if you're a Mexican-American Chicano, there's a lot of Chicanos in Chicago. You know what I mean? But a lot of that has to do with bandwagon, bro. The Cowboys, the Bears only got one Super Bowl, 85, right? But they're one of the oldest teams. So, I mean, you can just look, you know, some people, bandwagon jumping is real big, bro. It's real big. You know what I'm saying? You got people that know darn well they didn't care for that team, but they're rooting for that team. You know what I mean? Me, I stick with my team. Obviously, like I'm just complaining about, right? That I stick with my team through it all, thick and thin, no matter what's happening. I can't switch. You see, I'm even marked for life. I got the A's right there, Warriors over here, Raiders over here on this arm. You know what I'm saying? There's no such thing as all that. All teams I like are from here in Cali. Yeah, I don't like all teams in Cali. I like I said, there's the A's, there's the Warriors, and then the Raiders is over here on this arm. I don't like today. I was going for the Niners because they're playing Kansas City. I was hoping they would beat them to give Kansas City a L because the Kansas City's in our division. Unfortunately, it didn't happen. I don't hate on the 49ers. You won't catch me talking shit. I don't agree with all that. That's what I don't understand. Like 49ers, Raiders ain't even in the same division, let alone the same conference. So keep your mind on the teams that are in your division, first of all, in your conference. So a lot of Niner fans talk shit. I don't know why. Like I'm just saying, you in the AFC West, worry about the Cardinals, worry about the Rams, worry about Seattle. And then the bigger scheme of things, the conference, worry about Green Bay, worry about who else is over there? The Cowboys, worry about, you know what I'm saying? Atlanta, worry about, all them different teams. The Raiders, like I mentioned, the Broncos, the Broncos, the Chargers, and the Chiefs. You know what I mean? Off top enemies, right? Then you got the Bills, right? You got the Patriots. You got the Titans. You know what I'm saying? All the other AFC teams. The Bills. I'll keep it real on this. The Bills jersey, the white jersey with the blue letter numbers, badass jersey. The New York Giants, the white jersey with the red numbers, badass jersey. I like Josh Allen a lot. I think the Bills, I thought they were going to go to the Super Bowl last year. I'll keep it real. I thought they were going to win last year, but they came up short, man. They were battling with the Chiefs back and forth, touchdown for touchdown. And unfortunately for the Bills, the Chiefs came out. But the Bills came out strong this year. They smashed that season opener against who was that against? Was it against the Chiefs? The Bills? I forgot who they came out playing that first game, but they smashed them. I'm from Northern Cali also, bro. Where you from, Chewy, in Northern Cali? What you think about the Giants? What Giants? Football Giants? Or if you're talking about the football Giants, I think they lost today, didn't they? Let me see. I think they lost today, but I could be wrong. No, they didn't lose today. Okay, so yeah, they look good, 6-1. But then they're second in the NFC East. So I think the Eagles are undefeated still, right? And then the Cowboys ain't doing too bad either. So, and then the Redskins beat the Packers today. So that's the winningest, the most winningest. That's the winningest division in football with the most titles, most Super Bowl titles, the NFC East. I was explaining this earlier, man. After seeing the Raiders, that first game against the Chargers, that was during that week that I was sick, real sick, and I was in bed for a couple of weeks. And I watched it into the third quarter, and it just flashbacks, disappointment, embarrassment. I was like, fuck this shit. I went and laid down. I wasn't feeling good, and that was the only thing that was making me feel better at that time was to lay down, close your eyes, and lay the fuck down, right? And anyways, that's what I did. But it just, week after week, I caught some of the Cardinal game, and then Tennessee not blew us out, but I wasn't digging that game. Most of these games we were like, the Cardinal game, I think we were up 17-0. You know what I mean? Even the Chiefs game, we were right in there, you know what I mean? And all of a sudden, they beat us by 1, And it's like, man, and then they're studying tape all week. You know what Pat Mahomes does a lot? He'll act like he's going to run, and he'll psych that DB to come in, to rush him. And then he don't even pass the line of scrimmage, and then he throws a, pass to Kelsey. You know what I mean? I'm an A's fan, but you never see me wearing anything from the Giants. But I can't like that jersey from the Giants. That cream one with the black lettering is crazy. Yeah, A's. Yeah, I got A's. Man, I'm kind of mad because I ordered a couple. I got a Ricky Henderson jersey that I got that came in, and then this A's thing, and it was advertised as a jacket. But when I got it, it's like a pullover. It's a pullover type. It's like a batting, something like a batting practice shirt, and they're too big. They're too big on me, and I was pissed. And then I just ordered another A's jersey that I got, and I got a Howie Long and a Bo Jackson. I haven't even opened them yet. They're still in the package. And then Windbreaker. No, it's not windbreaker type. It's like a it's like a it's like a it's like that thin material where it's like a I don't even know how to explain it. But no, it's not windbreaker. And it's not a jacket. Like it's just a pullover, but it was advertised as a jacket. And then I just ordered a Draymond Green jersey. I should be getting that any day because I got a blue Steph, a white Clay, and now I'm gonna get this blue Draymond. And now so I got a decent little amount of A, and then I got an A's jersey, a button-up one, and then I had another one that didn't have a number, but it was A's Mitchell and Ness. That jersey just came up missing. I don't know where the hell it even at. So I don't know if I'm moving sometime doing laundry or something. Did it fall off the hanger when I was walking? I don't know what happened to it. The pool Draymond situation, I don't. It is what it is. He's already spoke about it. He felt bad. He needs to get his temper. You should never. Especially Poole's been there through the thick of things, right? He's been there through losing seasons, and then he was there with them when they won the championship last year. I don't think that you should ever get that mad where you want to put your hands on your teammate. You know what I mean? I just don't think that's cool. He had words with Draymond, KD that one time. That was in public. During a game. Televised game and shit. He's got to put that shit in check. You know what I'm saying? He's the leader. He's pretty much, even though they'll say Steph is the leader, Draymond's really the leader. Like he's the one that initiates, a lot of the offense. You know what I mean? He's the one. He's the floor leader. You know what I'm saying? He commands the defense. He's not a really offensive player as far as scoring, but he's involved with the ball movement. He takes it up the court a lot, point forward. He's got to get that shit in check, man. They still haven't found who leaked the video. Green was childish for that, bro. Yeah, it's just then I don't understand. He calls LeBron. He's on the bench. He's not even in the game. He calls LeBron over there in the season opener. And, he says something to him, and they start giggling. I don't know. Even the guys on the bench were like, what the fuck? They're taking that like he wants to be a Laker. I don't think he wants to be a Laker. I think, and I hope I'm wrong about this, but I believe that he not only does Klay Thompson, but I believe Draymond wants to be a Warrior for the rest of his career. I don't know what he would want to go over there and play with the Lakers for. I mean, to play with LeBron? He's played with him on the Olympic teams. You know what I mean? You got 4 rings already, so it ain't like you're going to leave Golden State and say, oh, my best chances of winning a ring is to go here. So I don't know where's that coming from? Yep. If Green is not on the Warriors are crazy. If Green is on the Warriors are crazy. I don't get that. Yep. If Green is on the Warriors are crazy. Where you from out there, Chewy? You don't got to say the city, but what county? I'm an A's fan, but you will never see me wearing anything from the Giants. But I can't like that jersey. I think you meant to say, but I can't lie. That jersey from at the Giants, the cream one with the black lettering is crazy. I got one Giants hat, one San Francisco Giants hat, and I had a brand new Giants t-shirt. And at my job, I met Shawan Dunston. He came in wanted to look at the property there. And I stopped him and I told him that he couldn't come in here. And right away he's like, why? And he got an attitude, right? And I'm looking at him and I go, hey, you Sean Dunston. I said something like that. And he's like, yeah. And after I recognized him, he was hella cool with me. He said, hey, I'm going to go pick up my wife. We'll be back. We got an appointment at 11 or whatever time he told me. He goes, when I come back, we'll take some pictures. He just told me like that. I just so happened to have the brand new Giants t-shirt in the car. And I grabbed the Giants hat, which was also brand new. I had never wore it, and I put it on. I took some pictures, a couple pictures with him. But yeah, how can I really rock Giants stuff when I got A's tattoo? So that's I'm an A's. There's no question about it. But the Giants, compared to the football, I don't fuck with the 49ers like that, right? I don't talk shit about them, but I can't rock 49ers stuff or like the 49ers. Just not me. It's just the Raiders. When it comes to especially football, it's the Raiders and that's it. Baseball is A's, but I do like a lot of the players. The Giants have had some legendary players, a lot of history with that franchise. And you know, I can dig them. I can go for them in the World Series. I can, you know what I mean? But you know, you're talking, you know, Barry Bonds, obviously. Jeff Kent played there. Different, you know, different stars over the years that, you know, in the end of their career, they played for the Giants. Like Darryl Strawberry, Andres Galarraga, JT Snow was over there for a while. Todd Benzinger, Ellis Burks, Brett Butler, Matt Williams, you know, Kevin Mitchell, Will Clark. Then go back a little further, Jack Clark, Darrell Evans. You know what I mean? They had some good players. Gaylord Perry, Vida Blue, Joe Morgan. You know what I mean? They had a lot of guys. JT Snow. No, bro, I can't wear anything that has to do with Frisco. Okay, so you must be. Where you from? You from Oakland? JT Snow. Yeah, I said JT Snow. Todd Benzinger. I like Todd Benzinger and Ellis Burks. I used to like them dudes. They came from Boston. And Darren Lewis, Royce Clayton. Them dudes were bad. You know what I mean? I like them dudes. They were not Royce Clayton, but Darren Lewis was an A's too before Oakland A's. Yeah. But yeah. So you know, I'm juiced that we got that W today. I'm juiced. The Raiders got that W today. They did it pretty. You know, the second half of the game, they took over. They were good on the ground. You know, they worked that clock, but Jacobs was so explosive today. He was getting a lot of first downs. He was picking up a lot of long carries, you know, between he finished the game averaging over 7 yards a carry, you know what I'm saying? But I seen him a few times pick up 12, 11, 15, you know what I mean? He was doing his thing once again, you know. So you can't say, yeah, the Yankees got swept, and then I think it's going to be the Astros and Phillies. And they did their thing, and Jacobs, you know, another week, he did his thing, and you know, we just got to get more W's in the W column, right? So I'm hoping, you know, with this next stretch, we got the Saints, and then we got Seattle. I mean, who was it? The Saints, and then Jacksonville, and then the Colts in Vegas. If we can get those 3 wins right there, we'll be 5-4. You know what I mean? Which would be good cruising into the next trio of games. You know what I mean? I think it will be a good World Series. Yeah, and that's another thing. Look at the Yankees, man. The Yankees. I brought this up the other day. Where, you know, the Yankees always been the big time franchise where, you know, a lot of guys get paid when they go to the Yankees. They, you know, get paid more money. You know, look at over the years, all the guys that's went there to play. A-Rod, Jason Giambi, Scott Brocious, Johnny Damon. You know, all these guys went there. You know, and Chapman, the different pitchers, Jim, David Wells, David Cone. I think Roger Clemens, I think, went there too, didn't he? I think Jimmy Key went there as well. And then even go back in the day, Reggie Jackson signed there, right? Ricky Henderson went there. Dave Winfield went there. You know, it was always a place for guys to go and get paid big money. You know what I mean? And it's still like that to this day. You got Anthony Rizzo over there. You got Giancarlo Stanton's over there. And I forgot to mention Tino Martinez and Paul O'Neill. They went there to play. You know, but now you got Boston Red Sox got a little bit of that going on, and also the Dodgers. I think the Dodgers is second after the Yanks, though, where guys are going there to sign with them for bigger money. They got more of a you know, bigger pocketbook, you know, checkbook. I'm not really sure how the salary cap works in baseball, like in basketball, because it seems like they're able to pay more players bigger money. Oh yeah, you got Donaldson too's there now. Yeah, Josh Donaldson. So he's an ex-MVP, I believe, ex-A's. Went on to, you know, play with Toronto, crack out a bunch of home runs. And I hate the fact that the A's do that too. Donaldson, Cespedes, different guys they've let go over the years. After they have couple good seasons. I don't even think, is Chris Davis still there with the A's? Chris Davis is just straight either home run, strikeout, pretty much. But still, I think. Oh yeah, Canseco went to play with the Yanks too, I think. But just a lot of players over the years, Or the other thing is like the Warriors too at one time, and the Raiders. They would get older players. Like toward the end of their career. Roger Craig, Jerry Rice, Ronnie Lott, Eric Dickerson, Greg Bale, Andre Rison. But Andre Rison and Jerry Rice still had some good seasons there with the Raiders. The A's, Frank Thomas, Alex Burks, Jermaine Dye, Ron Gant. I think David Justice went there too. They get guys like that. You know what I mean? And then they would lose guys too, like I mentioned earlier. Cespedes, Donaldson, Tejada, Giambi, Scott Brocious, Steinbach went to Minnesota for a big contract. McGuire went to the Cardinals. Canseco, I think, went to Texas first. If I remember correctly. And I remember Ben Grieve, a few different pitchers they had. They got rid of relievers, starters, just it sucked. The Warriors would get older guys too, or they got Jermaine O'Neal, Cliff Robinson, Baron Davis, I think Jerome Kersey was there too for a little while. So same. It was. I don't know if it was just the culture at the time in the Bay Area, but then they say the Raiders back in the day in the 70s. That they would get a lot of rejects from other teams like Matuzak, Alzado, you know what I mean? And then they would try to, because the culture back then was, trench coats, afros, you know what I'm saying? Glasses, that dark shades, it is what it is, you know what I mean? But if we can go in these next 3 games and go on a 4-game winning streak, that would be lovely when it comes time to play, the Chargers or the Broncos. I think the Broncos were next, and who knows what Russell Wilson does by then. He could turn things around and be, kicking ass. They're clowning him now, though, because I seen on the Richard Sherman podcast, it was him and Marshawn Lynch. And, and Marshawn was saying something like reaching out to him to see if he's okay. And Richard Sherman was kind of lightweight talking shit. And then Marshawn started like, oh yeah, you know what I mean? And so I don't know what all that, but we'll see. You know what I'm saying? I guess Richard Sherman, what Richard Sherman was saying was like Russell Wilson was getting treated differently when they were in Seattle. I don't know. Wasn't there. Really don't give a flying mother. But it is what it is, though. You know what I'm saying? Some of these ex-players that retired, man, they got a lot of game when it comes to podcasts on the mic and stuff, or players that are still playing, like Draymond. He has his podcast. You got Brandon Marshall does something. You got Matt Barnes and Steven Jackson. They got their little podcast. You know what I'm saying? So they, some of these cats, they do their thing. Even pro wrestling, you got Ric Flair has his podcast with his son-in-law Conrad Thompson. Stone Cold has his little deal. You know what I'm saying? So it, you got it or you don't got it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm trying to work on my game with my little. It's not a podcast, but my little channel. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna start digging around as far as messing with some of these apps I got on as far as making intros and stuff like that, and picture like I don't even know if that's what it's called, but like when you're doing reaction videos where I would be on the side of the screen and the video's playing, and then I could pause it and talk about whatever I just seen to the audience or whatever. So I'm gonna start dibbling and dabbling in different apps and figure out what works better for what I think works better. Shout out to Chapo from iTalk. If they only knew, he made me an avatar for the channel, because the other avatars I had would say like Big Lou, No Fly Zone, and then people were getting confused where they thought the channel was called Big Lou No Fly Zone. And so that's the reason why first, before this channel even came out, it was called my avatar, my name, you know, like when I comment, it would be Big Lou No Fly Zone Ricans, and then I changed it to What to Do with Big Lou, and then that became the channel name. You know what I mean? To try to keep people from getting confused. You know what I mean? The No Fly Zone is still going to be going. It's just right now, Carlos and Nelson are busy with things, with their, you know, with their personal life and jobs and such. So, you know, we'll figure out when we'll be back on. And in the meantime, What to Do with Big Lou will be pushing. I got some things in the works. If you guys don't know, go check out Harvey Prison Talk. I did like 4 videos with him. Also, Luke GTV, I did a little interview type thing with him, and I got some other things planned up for some other collabs with like 4 or 5 other channels. One of them is decent, 20-something thousand subs, but the other ones are like 3,000, 1,000. But nonetheless, none of that matters, because they, you know, we'll help each other out. Hopefully, everything works out right, and you know, even if you get 10, 15 subs from each channel from collabing, hey, that's cool with me. You know what I'm saying? But I think it's always in the best interest to help others and do whatever you can, push their channel. You know, it'll come back around. You know what I'm saying? It's a grind. It's going to be a grind. You know, I got almost as many videos as I got subscribers, right? I got, I think 290 videos before this one with 293 subscribers. So I might just go ahead and knock out 2 more videos to make it an even 293. I might do that tonight. But I'm coming up on an hour. Currently got nobody in here watching. Everybody tapped out, so I'm getting tired too, and I got some things I got to take care of tomorrow. Probably either I don't think I have enough time on my break, but probably my lunch. I have a couple things I got to take care of. So it's already 11:30 here. Alarm goes off 4 o'clock, comes quick. So with that being said, Big Lou's gonna tap on out. I appreciate everybody that stopped in. Chewy, Big Weddle Duran, just chilling. What's real? Popped in real quick. Wesley Mitchell. I appreciate all you guys for tapping in, and I appreciate everybody that comes by after the video's uploaded and watches. Be sure to sub if you haven't already. Hit the like button or the dislike button if you like the video. If not, you know, hit the dislike, and also be sure to share the channel and always leave comments. I respond back to all the comments. Wish everybody a good night, and I wish everybody a blessed welcome back to work Monday for tomorrow. All right, folks. Big Lou tapping out.